Welcome back to another edition of Sling Paint.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm Berto.
I'm Nims.
All right, today, the Punishing One.
Dun dun dun. Not to be confused with the Punisher.
No, which is like you. I think you were telling me it's like its second cousin once removed over.
Yeah, I mean technically Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars, so there could be a crossover at some point.
That would be really weird.
Probably not.
But I'll do it, man. Hey, Punisher. Right? I grew up with some Punisher comic books.
Right.
All right, so Punishing One, Fantasy Flight's finally released an article about what the ship is going to have.
Yeah, and oh my God, is it amazing?
Oh my goodness.
So aside from the looks of the ship, which as you guys can see here, it's a crescent, like a half crescent ship, heavily favored the right side,
yes,
where the cockpit is,
and that actually impacts something which we will talk about very shortly.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting the way they did it, and it's actually kind of cool because it makes it a lot more realistic, I guess.
And it is a scum ship.
It is. It's a large base scum ship, and it's a turret.
Yes.
So 360-degree turreted ship for scum. Yep.
Yes. Yep. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's nice.
So the cool part about it being a scum is a lot of these upgrades. I mean, we're going to get to this in a second, but I mean, there's tons of new upgrades that are only being just released for this ship. Not to mention, we were just talking about it, the design of the ship actually impacts the maneuver dial.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool maneuver dial. Like what we were saying, the ship favors the left side because of the cockpit being on the right. So all of your green maneuvers are either going to be straight or to the left.
Right.
All right. Your only red maneuvers are a 4K turn, which is pretty normal for most ships, and a red Segnor's loop to the right as a 2-speed. Those are your only two red moves on the ship.
But the Segnor's loop to the left is white.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I think we were talking about this before. This is definitely, I'm not going to say it's like an intermediate, like if a newcomers are going to start playing with the ship, they're going to have problems. But it definitely does add a layer of complexity to this.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the downside to this dial is if I'm flying the ship, you're playing against me, you stress me or I'm stressed, I'm going to have to turn left to get rid of that stress or go one or two straight. So there's pluses and minuses to it. But the nice thing about it is to get out of arc or something like that, we've got a white Segnor's loop that we can do and turn you right back around.
The cool part also, too, is this ship actually does one hard turn maneuvers to the left and right, even though left is a green and right is a white, but still, which is huge. You usually don't find that with large base ships. So the pilot cards.
Yeah, so this ship comes with 4 pilot cards. 3 individuals or aces, as some people call them, and 1 generic. Who do we have first?
So Dengar. All
right.
Absolutely. This guy is awesome.
So the Punishing One was actually Dengar's ship. The ship itself is called the JumpMaster 5000. But what's his ability?
So once per round after defending,
okay,
if the attacker is inside your firing arc, you may perform an attack against that ship.
Oh, nice. So you get like a double attack.
Yep.
And it said right after defending, so it's not like at the end of the round or anything like that.
It says once per round, though, so you can only do this once. You can't do it every time you defend. So if you get like 3 ships firing, you can only do it once. And the cool part is it says attack. It doesn't say primary or secondary attack. So you can use any attack you have, but as long as they're inside your main fire arc, even though this is a 360-degree ship,
right,
it's still got to be inside that main firing arc.
Every ship has the main firing arc that comes out the front of the ship.
Right.
So for that ability to work, it has to be out of those front arcs.
Right.
Can't be 360. But that's still pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
The fact that it happens at the beginning of the round, or not the beginning, but I mean immediately after defending.
Right.
That's pretty cool too. You don't have to wait until the end of the round.
And for 33 points, you have a skill value pilot of 9 with 33 points. I mean, that's also unheard of too. I mean, that's and then the upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, you put Vet Instincts on him, he's an 11, so that's pretty high up there, which is probably why the point cost is so high.
You got elite 2 torpedoes that you can arm this ship with. You can also have a crew, a salvage astromech, an illicit, and of course a modification in the title card, and the title card Punishing One, which we'll talk about in a couple secs here. But that's a lot of upgrades.
Yeah, so that's 6. I mean, you get 6 upgrades plus the modification. So, and the title.
And I think, I'm not sure if we talked about it, but like you said, we know we talked about it says it is a turret, but it is only 2 attack turret, but some of the upgrade cards you're going to like, that's going to make that potentially a 3 or more.
Yeah. So let's run through the other pilots, and then we'll show everybody what the...
All right. So the next one down, I'm actually going to go right to the skill value 7, which is Tel Trevura. I'm going to butcher that. I sounded confident saying it, too.
Tel Trevura, I guess. Tel Trevura?
Trevura.
Somebody let us know how we're butchering that, please.
Well, Sir Tel.
There you go.
So he's got he's pilot skill value 7, and if you look at it, he's got all the same upgrades, all the same actions.
Yep.
The only difference is the skill value, and of course the ability, and for 30 points, so 3 less points than Dengar.
Yep, 3 less points, 2 less pilot ability.
Yep, and then you got the first time you would be destroyed. Instead, cancel any remaining damage, discard all damage cards, and deal 4 face-down damage cards to this ship.
Okay, so basically you get like a continue in a video game.
Yes.
You get like
it's
a free life.
That's exactly what it is.
All right, so the kind of cool thing about that, if we're reading this correctly, it says discard all damage cards. So does that mean all crits?
That's
so if you've got face-up damage cards, you're then getting rid of them, and you get like one hull back pretty much.
Right. And the cool part about this is if you think about this, so if you got the crit hits, it gets rid of those. But let's say if the guy was dealing out, like you had 1 hull left or whatever the case may be.
And he did like 4 hits, range 1 or something like that.
It gets all wiped out. It's clean slate. You automatically screw that, whatever he attacked, it sent you, whatever his attack value was. You just get clean slate, 4 damage cards, and you live. That's
pretty
not
cool.
too shabby.
Yeah.
Yep. And it is a pilot skill value of 7, so if you do put like vet instincts, it makes it a 9, so it's pretty high up there, so it can definitely shoot first. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean, crazy skill value. So the next one down, it jumps right from 7 to 4, which is Manaroo.
Manaroo. Yep. So at the start of the combat phase, you may assign all focus, evade, and target lock tokens assigned to you to any other ship. So if you get a focus, you can then pass it on to somebody else. You get a target lock, you can pass it on to somebody else. Now the trick to this one is it says all focus, evade, and target lock tokens assigned to you to another friendly ship. So if you have a focus, an evade, and a target lock, you can push all 3 to one ship.
Right.
Or if another ship, an enemy ship, has a target lock on you, you can then give it to somebody else. So they can't use that on you.
So yeah, and we were going back and forth on that because it doesn't specify if it's your enemies or your friend's target locks.
Yep.
It just says any tokens.
Yeah.
So if, like you said, if you do have an enemy target lock on you, you can move it to another ship. And if you have your own target lock, you can move it to another ship.
Yep.
So, and again, it's at the combat phase, so you can do all your actions first, and then once you do your actions and combat phase starts, then you can dish it out and move where you need to move, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. And with a lower pilot skill, you're going to move first. You're going to get those actions first.
Right.
So then you move those to another ship before
all the combat starts, which is nice.
Exactly.
So not too bad. So that was the last unique pilot, and then we go right to the
I call them generics.
Generics.
So he's a contracted scout, 25 points, skill value of 3. Now, in theory, 25 points means you can run 4 of these ships, bare bones, nothing else on them. Don't necessarily suggest that. They've only got 2 attack each,
right?
But they have 2 evade each. So
it's not bad for a big ship. Like I run the 3 hounds, which is just basically generic hounds, and I think I run like the hounds 2 title card, which gives me the pup. So I'm like I was contemplating looking at a list for this. So when we start doing our lists, I definitely want to see what it would look like if I did either 3 of these with maybe some upgrades. But I don't know. I got to play around, but definitely you can do it though.
Well, the cool thing about this generic ship still has each and every upgrade slot that the ace cards do.
Yep.
You've got your modification, you've got your title, you've got your illicit, the elite, salvaged astromech crew,
2 torpedoes.
I mean, you can pump these ships up with full of upgrades, and they're a base of 25.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, so that's all the pilots. I mean, again, just the pilots alone, but the upgrade cards are insane.
All right.
A lot of people are talking
What
about
do we have for crew?
All right, so crew, right off the bat, hold on, let me jump to crew here. Right off the bat, Gunk.
All right. Not to be confused with
Grunk.
from the Patriots.
Grunk on just the scum side.
So Gonk is I would almost call him a fan favorite because he's your big kind of like hulking trash can looking droid. You know what I mean? His ability is kind of interesting. It's almost like a 2-part ability.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first action, you place one shield token on the card.
Yep.
All right. Then in another round, your action, you then remove one shield token from the card to recover one shield up to your full value.
That's huge. And like, I think you were saying this too when we were talking about this before. Like the first couple moves of the game,
Yeah.
you can load yourself up. Like if you can get like usually like I like to slow things down and do like a 1 or a 2 right off the bat, and let the people come to me. So like if those first 2 rounds, if you slow it up, you can store because it doesn't say how many shields. You can store 2 shields, and then in the future you can use those potentially to recover some shields, and that's huge.
Yeah. Keep in mind you can only do one at a time, but still.
But still, I mean, it's like R2-D2, but you don't need to do a maneuver to do it. You can just use it as an action.
Exactly. So it's kind of like Scum's answer to regenerating shields like Rebels do.
So the other crew upgrade that you get here is Sir Boba Fett.
Okay, so this one's pretty cool. So now we've got Boba Fett as a crew, Scum only.
Yep.
Can't use him on the Imperial side, which the ship can go either way. But after performing an attack, if the defender was dealt a face-up damage card, you may discard this card to choose and discard one of the defender's upgrade cards.
Huge.
Right? That means any upgrade card. That means, munitions, astromechs,
Palpatine.
Crew. Exactly. Twin laser turret, stress bot, doesn't matter. You score a crit, you deal a face-up damage card with the ship that he's on. You can choose any upgrade card.
Right, and we were talking about this before.
To get rid of.
Some people play where like you have one powerhouse, list, or I should say one powerhouse ship within your list. Like, and I was playing another guy that he had Palpatine, and he was using it left and right, and I couldn't figure out. Boba Fett, that would have changed that game if I could. I mean, because I got through and dealt crits to him and dealt damage. And then you were saying something about Bosk's and Mangler Cannon's ability.
I mean, it changes a hit to an upgrade.
Right. Okay.
It changes a hit to a crit, and then the crit goes through.
And use Boba Fett's ability.
You just discard.
That's huge.
One of their upgrades.
That's going to change a lot of games, and I know you like Boba Fett, just Boba Fett in general.
Yeah.
You're a big Boba Fett fan, so I think I know this major day. I remember when the article came out, he comes. We worked together, so he comes running in. He says, "You got to check out the list. You just got to see Boba Fett's ability."
Yeah. Now here's the even better part. He's only 1 point.
That's awesome. 1 point.
How many times have I building lists and I have 99 points? Usually I'm doing it to try and get initiative.
Yep.
1 more point. I'm gonna add them all.
I'm gonna add Boba Fett. Yeah,
especially if I have a crew slot open.
That's huge. And like if you put it on a powerhouse ship that can deal the crits, if you can manipulate it away, I mean, if you get a crit through, that's gonna be awesome. And the thing is, it doesn't say. It says after you're performing attack. It doesn't specify. Actually, let me rephrase that. It does go to that ship. So
you have to have you're
attacking with, right? All right. So the other crew card that it has, Dengar himself.
Yeah. So again, Scum only, but when attacking, you may reroll 1 attack die. If the defender is a unique pilot, you may instead reroll 2 attack die. So it's kind of like an upgraded Predator. Yeah.
And this is, again, one of my biggest things is like I run a lot of generic lists. I usually don't do a lot of named pilots. And reason why I just like having more ships doing the same exact thing, this actually sparked up my interest. And a lot of it is because a lot of people run unique pilots. Like they run Vader, they run Suit Phil, they run all these, or Bosk, like you big Bosk fan. If that will, definitely hurt you if you're attacking a unique pilot, you can reroll 2 attack die.
Yeah, it's like a little mini target lock.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, technically, if you're flying the JumpMaster 5000, you've only got 2 attack. So it's a target lock.
Yeah. All right, so I think that actually goes for the crew upgrades. I want to talk about the elite upgrades.
All right.
Okay.
You've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting
so
for
go
it.
ahead.
Rage. I mean, it looks like Bosk. I mean,
It does. I mean, it's kind of like a lizard-looking guy,
Yeah.
which is usually Bosk.
But his action,
Yeah.
assign 1 focus token to your ship and receive 2 stress tokens. Until the end of the round, when attacking, you may re-roll up to 3 attack dice.
So you're getting a target lock and you're getting a focus for 2 stress.
Right. And at the same time, you can re-roll the 3 attack dice. That's basically, like you said, a target lock before for the for Fett's card. But this, and also it's not a unique pilot thing or not a unique ability. It's rage. You can put it on every ship. It's an elite upgrade.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So just for instance, imagine you're flying Rebels.
Right.
You're flying as Tycho. Tycho can perform actions while stressed.
Yes. Or if you're a big Defender fan like me, you don't care about stress.
You've got a white
Yeah.
K turn.
Yeah. That's huge. Like I said, I think that's definitely going to change a lot of games. Because, and the cool part is a lot of the new ships that are being released, including the Punishing One, including the Ghost, they're coming out with all these new cards, both upgrades, and you have unique pilots and crew cards of the pilots.
Yeah.
So you're starting to see like a huge similarity with this whole Wave 8 that's coming out. But I mean, I think it's just going to be, the cards that are coming out are just insane. And then you have, this is a scum only card though.
Yep.
Rage was actually everybody. You can use it for any faction.
Yeah, so it's a Tawny Mind Link. It's scum only, like Bardo just said.
Yep.
But each time you are assigned a focus or stress token, each other friendly ship with a Tawny Mind Link must also be assigned the same type of token if it does not already have one.
Right.
So I'm flying along. Let's say I've got robots. One of them gets a focus token. That means, and we both have this. They both ships have this card. First one gets a focus token. That means the second one gets it. Now the only downside is if the first one gets stressed, then the second one gets stressed. Right. So
there's a downside, but if you think about it, and like focus both, having free focuses both for defending and attacking always helps your dice statistics when you're attacking and defending. So it does huge. So yes, it does cost you stress, but like you said, if you put it on a pilot that doesn't care about stress,
right,
or can do white maneuvers, I mean that's huge. It's not an action. It's just it's a free thing you get automatically. So as soon as you get a stress on one ship, it automatically is there for the next ship, which is nice.
Unless they already had one.
Oh, that's what it says? Okay.
Yep. So you can't like double the stress or double the focus. But still, it's an interesting card.
Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, if you put it, like if you have a lower skill value pilot in your ship list, you let him do the focus action, he gives free focuses to everybody else.
You're right.
Right. And then they get a free action on top
Well, just the other ship that has it.
Just right. If any other ships, right. So if you outfit all your ships, they can all dish out free focuses, and then they can take their normal action if they can.
Yeah, because it does say each other friendly ship. So this pack only comes with 2 of these cards. So initially you can only do 2. You buy multiple ships, you can do 4, whatever. Yep. But yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. That's a good point.
All right, so that was all the elite upgrades. Now, the agromech, I can text.
Salvaged astromech.
Thank you, salvaged astromech. That big word salvage was so hard to pronounce.
All right, so we've got R5P8. It's almost like a bingo game. But
bingo!
Once per round, after defending, you may reroll 1 attack die.
Yep.
On a hit result, the attacker suffers 1 damage. On a crit result, you and the attacker each suffer 1 damage. So if you notice a trend here for all the scum ships, if you look at Bosk, if you look at R5P8, you look at the Mind Link, there's a lot of double-edged cards here that can hurt you and help you in the same way. It's a trend for scum here that we're noticing. But this is pretty neat. So once per round, after you get attacked and you're defending, you want to see what happens, roll a dice. You might give them a damage. You might give them a damage and yourself a damage. It might be worth the risk. You're
throw it on a hound or throw it on a large ship that has a lot of shields or something.
You're going to do an extra damage to them.
Right. And if you have the ability where you can regenerate shields, like on that other, the title card. No, not the title card. Gunk. If you have Gunk on that, you just replenish the shield. So that's not bad. And it's not an action. It's just actually when you're defending, so you get it. That's huge. The title card.
Yeah.
Punishing 1.
Yeah. So this is 12 points.
Yes, a lot.
That's
of
a
points.
lot. I mean, if you're thinking about it, a generic TIE fighter is what, 12
points,
right?
Right, yeah.
So
increase your primary weapon value by 1.
Okay. So you put this on there as the title card. If you somehow have 12 points left, you get an extra attack dice.
So this is basically putting that ship up. If you put the title card on, like if you take a Millennium Falcon, it basically jumps it up to like a 40, 45 points range because you already have 30-something points, and you can always put a couple other cards in. This is going to be a big, hefty ship. But if you outfit it right, especially with this card, because if you have a 360-degree turret that deals out 3 dice.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
That's huge. And then if you have some of the abilities like, Fett's ability where you can basically re-roll dice, and I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
So I like it. I mean, to me, is it worth 12 points? I'm going to have to look at the list because if I'm already spending 50 points on one ship, what other ships can I potentially have?
Yeah.
Can I run 2 of them? But then again, if I run 2 of them, I got to be careful because I can't really run a title card on one because it's unique.
Right.
So I might definitely have to outfit some other weapons on the other ship. So the other ability, guidance chips, we've seen this before on the Inquisitor.
Yep, we talked about it on the Inquisitor. But again, once per round, when attacking with a missile or torpedo, secondary weapon, you may change 1 die result to a hit result or a crit result if your primary weapon value is 3 or higher.
Right. So this actually works with the title card. So if you have your title card that jumps your primary weapon value up to 3, this actually allows you to do hits and crits, which is nice.
Well, for secondary weapons, yeah.
For secondary weapons, just by having that title card. So it definitely can help you out. So if you're using a heavy duty torpedo or missile that can roll out 4 or 5 dice,
yep,
that's going to help you.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
All right. Last but not least,
feedback array.
Yep. So this was not this was actually already part of the IG 2000 expansion packs.
Yep.
So it's not a new card. But it says during the combat phase, instead of performing any attacks, you may receive 1 ion token and suffer 1 damage to choose 1 enemy ship at range 1. That ship suffers 1 damage.
Okay.
So
situational again.
Right.
If you've got a ship down to 1 health, or 1 hull left, great time to use it. You're going to ion yourself unless you're a big ship.
And I like this card too.
Because
like if you're running a smaller ship that has an arc, it doesn't say in your arc. It just says range 1. So if you go past a ship and you're range 1 and you can't shoot, you can use feedback array. You just gave an ion, and you just suffer, and you let them suffer 1. You give them suffer 1 damage. That means you're allowed to turn around because you know what next turn they're going to be doing. They're going more straight.
You get the ion.
Oh, you get the. Oh, I messed that up. Okay.
Yeah.
You receive 1 ion token and suffer 1 damage to choose one ship that does 1 damage. Oh.
Yeah. So not necessarily.
I misread that. I'm thinking this whole time that you can dish it out.
Well, no. I mean, you're still doing a damage, and you're dealing 1 damage.
Okay, so you just gotta be careful because that ion, you're basically gonna do a 1 forward. Okay, scratch what I said. Sometimes I can't read. Anyway, but I mean, we've seen this card before. Like I said, feedback array. I haven't really played with it at all. But now I'm thinking about it. It might be something I might maybe I'll tweak. If it's 2 points and it's an illicit upgrade, not too bad.
Tell you what, somebody shoot us a list. Leave it in the comments. Hit us up on Facebook. A list with feedback array. We'll give it a try. We'll play it. We'll tape it. We'll show you what it's like.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. I mean, that's everything for the Punishing 1. I'm excited about the ship. I think it's going to come around like another month or so, but
yeah, there might be some delays. Got Chinese New Year going on, plus a couple other things.
Yep.
So we don't exactly know when these are going to hit the streets, but
they keep showing the boat icon on Fantasy Flights.
As soon as we get it, we'll post it up. We'll do an unboxing. We'll show you guys what's in there.
Absolutely.
I mean, you kind of already know, but
do you know there are 2 cards that we don't know about?
Yeah. So
based on the photo. So there is another. They call it an overclocked agromech, and you get 2 of them. And then there's also what's the other thing that we get? There's also another modification of some sort. We don't know.
We just don't know what it is. Yep.
Yeah, it says. But the long and short of it all is, when we do get, like I said, we get the box, we can unbox it and show everybody. But I'm looking forward to playing with the ship. I have this pre-ordered, so I'm definitely gonna be. It's in my arsenal of ships. Yes. All right. Well, that's it for today.
Yeah. Hey, subscribe to the video again. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel. Leave us a comment, like the video, spread the word if you can. Help us get our name out there. We love doing it. We love playing the game.
Yep.
Send us some lists you want us to try out. We'll gladly play them for you. See how it goes. Facebook.com/slingpaint.
And YouTube/C/SingPaint. They changed it up. YouTube's all different now.
Yeah, I mean, you're here watching it, so
yeah, exactly.
hopefully
Just go to the thing and just go to subscribe right there on the bottom right. One of these sides, just hit the little subscribe button and you're good and you're in.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.